At CBT, we understand the challenges organizations face to improve performance while maintaining a safe and healthy environment. That's why we're constantly exploring new ways to deliver technology with a human touch. To explain this further, meet Pam and Jim. It's their first week in a new job reporting to Michael. Both will experience the same challenges, but the way they navigate them will depend on the tools they are provided. Both spend their first day onboarding and training, with Michael 5.0 embracing technology to enhance Pam's training, while Michael 1.0 does not see the benefit. Pam thoroughly enjoys watching detailed webinars, including interactive portions where she gets to move around as she works with technology and previews aspects of each interesting solution she'll be learning more about as the week progresses. Meanwhile, Jim is stuck staring at a repetitive computer-based training program without any interaction. As Monday wraps up, Michael checks in with Pam to ensure she's understood the material and spends time reviewing any aspects where she had a question. Once done, he sees her out and tells her to have a good evening, thanking her for her efforts. As Monday closes, Jim is frustrated as he's been reading all day and been bored trying to understand the bland training in the binder. When Michael comes in, Jim is relieved and goes to his list of questions, only to have Michael give him a quick pat on the back and tell him to remember what he learned today. As both Pam and Jim make their commutes home, they have two very different visions for what Tuesday will bring. Pam can't wait to dive in and learn more, while Jim is left wondering why he left his previous sales job in the paper industry. Yesterday, you met Pam and Jim during their first day on the job. Today they're back, but they're about to encounter some obstacles. Once they arrive, Michael explains their work locations are changing. He doesn't provide much detail, just gives them instructions to find their new locations and use the equipment. Both Jim and Pam head towards their new locations, but pretty soon they find themselves lost and unsure where to go, potentially placing both them and their coworkers in danger. Thankfully, Michael 5.0 receives a lone worker tech GPS notification, alerting him that Pam is headed to the wrong place. Utilizing the convenient technology, Michael 5.0 is able to communicate with Pam in real time before she enters a hazardous area. Jim isn't so fortunate. After wandering into some clear safety issues with no way to communicate with Michael 1.0, he heads back, worried that he can't waste any more time. After speaking to Michael 1.0, he realizes the error and is feeling lucky he avoided an accident, finally finding his way to the correct location. By this time, Pam is well into her day. After arriving, she briefly had an issue getting her machine started, but was able to figure it out over a quick video call with Michael 5.0. Meanwhile, Jim is panicking. Nothing is working, and he's confused as each button he touches creates a new problem. With no way of efficiently getting help, he's forced to navigate the plant again to track Michael 1.0 down, explain the issue, get guidance, and finally begin his work. As they head home and think about Wednesday, Pam is feeling confident that she has the tools to succeed. Sadly, Jim feels unsupported, isolated, and questioning his abilities, wishing he was still working alongside his pal Dwight. As Pam and Jim prepare for their third day on the job, they're both about to face some challenges, as today they'll be performing maintenance on the plant's equipment. Once they arrive, Michael shares the news that they'll be making maintenance rounds to ensure everything is working properly. Just before sending them off, Michael provides both Jim and Pam the materials they'll need for the day. Among her materials, Michael 5.0 provides Pam with a list of machines that need repairs and some wearable technology. On the head-mounted device, Pam can see where the equipment is located within the plant and navigate the task through a digital workflow. Michael also explains that the body devices will help monitor important things like her water intake, body temperature, heart rate, and ergonomic movement to ensure she doesn't overexert herself. Pam is very appreciative of these extra measures and appears excited despite the tough day ahead. While Pam is performing maintenance rounds, Michael 5.0 can monitor Pam's condition and address any possible injuries immediately. On the other hand, Michael 1.0 supplies Jim with his toolbox and a list of the machines that need work. Jim makes his way onto the floor, guessing where to start first. Throughout the day, Pam is reminded when to take breaks and remain hydrated using the technology. While the work is tough, she's able to remain focused and avoid injury. Hours later, Jim is only on his third machine. Not only is Jim having to figure out how to make the repairs, but he is also overexerting himself by forgetting to take breaks. Without the wearable technology, he can only rely on his instincts to get the job done. The day ends differently for Jim and Pam, as Pam is feeling tired but confident she had a successful day. while Jim is really tired as his mind thinks about retreating home to Scranton. Day 4 begins with Michael telling both Pam and Jim about the physically intense day ahead. He tells Pam not to worry and shows her how they can anonymously monitor each worker's combined biometric and ergonomic data to proactively identify and manage overexertion and fatigue-related issues. Jim's situation doesn't include such proactive, data-based processes. Michael reminds him to take designated breaks and let him know if he needs extra breaks. Before sending Pam out, Michael explains how to interact with the technology and the alerts. He reminds her to take scheduled breaks and reassures her the data will be used to keep her safe on the job. He also shares how the notification process was developed in partnership with frontline workers and how it's drastically reduced incidents and injuries. While Michael doesn't want Jim to get hurt, but without technology-driven protocols to guide him, Michael simply sends Jim off on his way, relying on basic observation and Jim to alert him if anything is wrong. As the day ends, Pam feels great. She experienced the technology in action, as it alerted her when she was beginning to overexert herself. While she was tired, Pam typically wouldn't have stopped, concerned that she wouldn't be seen as a hard worker. Instead, everyone was supportive, letting her know it didn't reflect poorly on her, which allowed her to enjoy her much-needed breaks. Sadly, Jim didn't fare as well. With no more scheduled breaks ahead, Jim powers through his last few tasks and injures himself lifting a heavy box. No one is happy with this outcome, especially Toby in HR, who must create a formal injury report as he realizes this isn't a great start for a new employee and another negative sign regarding the safety of current employees. As the week comes to an end, Pam is excited to take on a new challenge, while Jim is unable to work due to his injury. As Michael greets Pam, she lets him know she's feeling great. She explains how the technology has been a saving grace and thanks him for his guidance in using it effectively. Michael responds by telling her she should thank the company for investing in not just the technology, but in the areas such as connectivity, cybersecurity, and data analytics. Without them, the technology would not be deployable. As Michael visits Jim at urgent care, he tells him about a time when he had a similar incident and explains that it's just part of the job. Jim mentions that his friend Pam had called to see how he was doing and told him about the amazing technology they use at her company. Michael cuts him off and explains they looked at the technology, but they lacked the connectivity to even try it. He also told him that the costs of both concern the company in regard to ROI. He changes the subject and tells him the good news is he'll be released this afternoon. As he leaves the room, he shouts, "See you Monday!" As Pam finishes her week, she is looking forward to the weekend, but also energized about coming back on Monday. Meanwhile, Jim is finally home and still thinking about his conversation with Michael. He's wondering if the cost of the technology and connectivity to prevent accidents would actually be more than the medical bills and lost time due to injury. As he settles in on his couch to watch his favorite TV show, he thinks maybe he'll ask Michael about the cost issue on Monday. Then he's concerned about having to go back to work, realizing Monday is just a few days away.